Okay, live streaming, first one. What are we gonna do? Set up a multi-game save system, not update. Stop. Okay, good way to start. Yeah, so multiple save system. Um, as soon as we get this to stop, cancel installation. That's how we start off our first stream. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream and recording it. Hopefully everything works. Everything seems to be working. So um, the only thing not working is Unreal Engine and of course phone calls. Come on, Unreal. I'm gonna kill this. And let's try that again. All right, library. Um, so we will launch here in 422. I guess I could have just hit launch up there. We'll launch it. We're going to create a save system where you have characters and you can create multiple user saves, right? So you go in, you log in, you type in your name just to create your first save, and then you start playing the game. You'll have a save file for your character, a save file for the level that you're on. And when you open up new levels, they will also um, have saves created for them. So as you go through, you'll create more level saves. Now you could go through and technically set up a save for every level initially, um, so that that whole save file is there. And then from there, you could save out when you open a level, the save file would have already been created and you don't have to keep creating it. So you could just do that all at once, but we'll go through and just do it one level load the first time. We'll check if there's any save file for it. If there's not, we'll create a save file. The game itself will just do something simple like pick up key cards, open doors, and then we'll remember if doors are open and closed in the level, as well as if we picked up the key card, we'll remove it from the level so it's not there again when we load it. And a little slow. What is going on? Okay, so let's do a new project. We'll go third person and we'll say this save system. Um, okay, save system one, create project. That's in whatever, 421. No wonder it was taking so long. At 91%, let's go. 96, almost there. All right, talk about a rough start. Awesome. Um, okay, so this will be our first map. Let's rename this. And we're just going to make this easy with a level 1. We'll change our third person name here to level 1. And with that, let's create a new level. This is just going to be our startup map. So startup. Save selected, don't save. Perfect. All right. So now we have our startup map. It looks exactly how we want it to. Let's go to our blueprints. And the first thing we're going to have to create here, let's get some more screen real estate maybe. The first thing we're going to create is our new game mode. So blueprint class, game mode base, and this will be game mode startup. So when we start up, we're going to have our startup game mode, and that's going to run basically our menus and everything else. And when we go into playing, we'll use our third person game mode. Let's override right now so we don't forget to do it later. Game mode startup, save all, save, and it's saved. So in our game mode startup, we are going to have to create some events, custom events. This is going to be using a simple widget, blueprint with some buttons on it. On our main menu, we'll just be able to create a new game, save a game, or load a saved game, or delete a save, okay? So there'll be 3 buttons. We already know what they do. We just said it. Let's create a custom event, add custom event, and we're gonna name this custom event main menu button click. So when the main menu button gets clicked, we're going to do something. What are we going to do? We're going to switch. We'll do on string. Yeah, we'll do on string. There's a couple ways you can do this. We could create an enum for our buttons and then do it that way, but we'll just do on string. We said we'd have 3 buttons. We don't need a default pin. Oops. We don't need 4. So case 1 will be new game, and it's a space here because I'm actually going to use this as the menu button text as well. New game, load game, and delete save. Those would be our 3 buttons. We'll have to pass a string in on this, obviously. New param, this will be button name, and it's of course a string. All right, so we'll pass it in and we'll do certain events on that. We'll build those in later. The next thing is once we click a new game, a save game, or load a save game, or delete a save, we're going to need events for all of those. So let's create another custom event, add a custom event, create new game, save. Another custom event, load save, saved, load saved game, and our last custom event here will be delete saved game. Again, we're going to have to pass in a string on all of these. It's going to be save name on all of them, save name, and even on a create new save, we need to know what to save it, and we're going to save it as our save name. All right, let's create a function in here right now because we know we need at least 1, and it's going to be validate new save game name. We definitely don't want to have a saved game name. We don't want to have 2 of the same. So if somebody logs in as James and another person comes on and they try to create a game as James, we don't want that. So we're going to have to validate it, and we'll build this in a little bit later, but for right now, we know we're going to have to pass a string in of save name. And then, I mean, since we already know saved name, there's a few things we can do, but not really till we create the save game. We'll wait and hold off on that. Okay, so that's our game mode for now. Let's close that out. Let's create a new blueprint class. We're going to create blueprint class, and this is going to be a game instance. So our game instance is going to carry our information between levels and everything else. So GI underscore save system. So we're going to use this game instance, and all we need in here is a variable called save name. We'll put reference, just basically the reference of it, the string, compile, save, and our game instance is pretty much done. Edit project settings, and we need to use this game instance, and to do that we need to go into our settings here, select game instance, and choose our new game instance. Close that out, automatically saves, everything's saved. Great. Now what do we need? Well, we need a place to save our save names, and a couple more information that we want to keep in there besides our save name. We're going to create a struct with a save name. We'll put a date time in there, and we'll also put the current level. We'll keep the date time out. We'll make it a little quicker. We'll keep time out because we don't want to have to go through and format all that time. So let's create a struct. Struct, this will be a struct save game name level. So we're going to save our name. Should be a string, save name, and then of course a new variable. Level is actually going to be, let's create a new blueprint enumeration. Let's create an enum save save file references. These are our references. All right, so what's going to be in here? Well, our level names and character, because we're saving a character as well. Character, we know our level names already. We're going to have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and last, level 6. So these will be references to our levels as well as our save files, and I'll show you how we create those here in a second. So back in our struct, we can set this to our enum save file references. And we'll just name this level, save name and level, so our current level. Yeah, level's fine. All right, so we got that. We have our struct, we have our enum type. One more thing to create. Let's create a blueprint function library. BFL save game. Not save game, save system. Save system game. BFL save system. All right. In here, our first function is going to be called format save file names. Name. And we need 2 parameters. One is going to be, of course, our string, our save file reference, and another one is going to be our enum we just created. And this will be our save file reference name. All right, so we're going to get this, and we are going to take it and to string. We can take our save file name, and we're going to format some text. Format text. Let's put squiggly bracket A underscore squiggly bracket B. Okay, so this will be, can I go to text here, or do I have to do both? Converts a byte value to format, and now we'll just go to text. And now I'm doing this in the library because we're going to call this from several different places, and I don't want to have to create this everywhere. Do it once, use our library, and go from there. That'll create our name for the save file. We're going to, the slot name basically. And I guess I could just do slot name, compile, save, minimize. All right. So we have some of that done. Next thing, let's create our save game files. The first one is going to be for our reference system. Just, hey, what games do we have saved basically? So this will be our save game underscore save file references. Let's duplicate this now, and let's name this our save game character data, and let's duplicate it one more time and save game level data. All right, save all, save selected, awesome. So we can go through here and create some stuff, but do you have to? Yes and no. But slot name, we'll have this. It's going to be a string. And then we need our user index. That's, of course, is going to be an integer. And then finally, we'll have our enum, not enum, our struct that we created. We'll just say save file data struct save game name level. All right, and that's going to be an array. Okay, so that's the first one. That's what we're going to save our file name to, and our level. The level, of course, is going to be 1 to start out. Okay. Now we need to get some stuff up on the screen to actually create this first widget. Let's start with making some buttons. Widget underscore main menu button. Delete the canvas panel. Let's throw in a size box. Our size box will be a width of 300 and a height of 60. We will throw in a button on our size box. Desired on screen. I'll just go desired. Let's name this button size box. This will be our actual menu button. That, of course, is a variable, and then we need text in here as well. Our text button is going to be a variable, and this is going to be called button text. Easy enough. Don't need to do anything else here. On pre-construct, we're going to do a couple things. Our button text, we made it a variable, and we can already see it, which is great. We are going to set this. And what we're going to do is add one more variable here. This will be called our button name. Let's make this a text just to make it easy so we don't have to format. We're not setting button text, we're getting button text and setting the text of the button. And we're doing this on pre-construct so we can see it when we actually build our menu. So that's the first button we need to create. With that, let's click our button. On button clicked, we are going to get game mode and cast to our startup. And as startup, we're going to say main menu. Menu. Yeah, main. I must have spelled something wrong. Oh, menu. Look how I spelled it. Mune. That's funny. And we'll just convert this to a string, and we clicked our button. Our main Mune button has been clicked. Awesome. That's our main menu button. Let's duplicate this. This is going to be our load game button. Go into our load game button. We are going to change our size of this to, let's do 800. 800? Yeah, I like 800. And in our menu button itself, we're going to pad this one by 5 all around. That'll give us some space. Excuse me, that'll give us some space around the box when we build these buttons and get them in there. That's fine. We're going to create a function here called initialize button. We will pass in on this some information. Let's pass in our enum that we created, not enum, our struct that we created. And this will be save file ref. So we'll pass this in, and then let's break this struct, and let's set our button name to string to text, and let's format some text. Squiggly bracket A, space, we'll say current level, squiggly bracket B, and then we'll know our file name and the current level they're on. And we'll set that button text. We set button name. That's not what we want for button name technically. We want to have our button name be just this. And then let's get our button text. Set text. And we'll put it here. That'll be fine. I like it. Compile and save. All right. So that's initialize button. We set our text. We don't need to do anything on pre-construct now. And then obviously we're not going to say menu button clicked. We are going to call our load saved game and plug that in there. Compile, save, close that. Let's duplicate this button. This is going to be our delete game button. And everything here remains pretty much the same except in our graph. This needs to get changed to delete. Drag off here, delete saved game, and our name, file saved, done. So now we got our buttons that we need. Anything else? No. Let's do another widget, widget underscore main menu. So here in our main menu, the first thing we'll throw in is a horizontal box. We're going to anchor this right to the center. 0, 0, size. You know what? Let's go all the way across. Offset 0, 0, 0, 0. So our size Y we know is 60. We don't need to offset left or right there. Y position, we should probably raise it up a bit. Let's go like -150. Okay, um, let's throw a text box in here really quick. Five text save game tutorial. Size X will, there we go. Save game tutorial, beautiful. In our horizontal box, we'll name this menu button horizontal box. And let's throw some of our buttons we created in here. User created button, come on. Main menu button. Let's duplicate this. Let's throw in a primitive of a spacer. We're going to set the spacer to fill and then duplicate 3 times. Put it at the top. Put it here. Put this one here. This one here. And good, good. Why is that one not filled? There we go. So they're all filled. Let's click menu button 1. This one will be new game button. And our button name that we made, we'll say new game. And there it is. This one will be load game. And this is typed just like the switch that we did. We need to make sure they stay the same. This one will be delete game. Let's rename these as well. Delete game button. Load game button. All right, so now we can create new game, load game, delete game. When we create a new game, we're going to do really just one thing, and that is create a save file name. To do this, let's put in a size box to start. We'll anchor it to, let's do the bottom. Offset 0, offset, let's do like 150. Position Y, our size, let's 60, 120, let's do 240. Offset right will be 150, and I don't like where the position's at, so we'll go negative 400. Negative 450. All right. Our size box, this will be our, we can just leave it size box. We don't need to say anything else. We'll create an overlay. Put it in our size box. Our overlay, this is going to be our, we'll call it options panel. So we'll say new game option panel. All right, easy enough. Let's start with a text across the top. So if we're going to do that, let's put a horizontal box in it. No, vertical box. Vertical box, and we'll stretch it all the way out across and start with some text. We'll center it, and our text will be much bigger. Enter new save name. We'll do what, 36? That's good. Next up is our input box. New game edit name box. Let's go to our font here as well and bump this up to 36. And then our vertical box, I said center, but I want this centered. center text. And then with that, let's create a button here for our vert box. Why is it that'll work. Let's put some padding on this too. If that was 20, do I really want to do 20 here? Probably not. So let's do 10 and 10. That'll work. All right, so our button, this is going to be create new save button. And let's throw some text on here. Save and start game. And let's make that 36 as well. Okay, that'll work. Our vert box, our new game options panel, great. Let's make our new games option panel a variable, and then let's duplicate it. We can't, go figure. Could have made it a variable probably. No, still can't. No big deal. We have our size box, our new game option panel, of course. Let's rename our new games option panel just to, oh, come on, option panel. Our vert box will rename to new game vert box. Make that a variable as well. Options panel, not really a big deal, but we'll keep it as such. Maybe we want to do something now. We'll undo it. All right. Let's throw in another overlay. No, not overlay. We'll throw in another horizontal box on our option panel. Horizontal, vertical box on our option panel. This one will be all the way over to, if we go back to new box option panel, let's say it is hidden. This vert box will be hidden as well. For now, let's hide what we just created. This is our vert box. This is going to be called our load delete vert box. That is a variable. All right. Cool. So let's create some functions here. This one will be show new game menu. Let's create another one called show load delete button with the S buttons. All right, so what are we going to show here? We're going to show our buttons that we're passing in. New parameter. This is going to be the structure we created earlier, our save game struct, and it's going to be an array. Save file references. Okay, so for each loop, we're going to create some buttons. We need to know one more thing as well here. Are we creating load buttons or save buttons? Boolean, not an array, is, we'll just say is load buttons. If it's not load buttons, we're obviously not going to create load buttons. Let's promote this to a local variable. Call it local is load buttons. All right, so for each of them, we're going to loop and create buttons. It might just be easier to do two different for each loops here. We'll create load buttons, if not for each loop will create delete buttons. We'll do it that way. So loop body, let's create widget. This will be our load buttons. Return value, we are going to initialize button with our array element information. And then we need to add it to our vert box. Add child to vertical box. Okay, so underneath we are going to create widget. The reason I don't just copy and paste it down is because it changes when you do load and delete, as you can see at the top. But we're going to call initialize button again. And then we can take this and plug it in. Okay, we can get rid of this since we did a branch right there, but let's sequence. Once that's all done, we're gonna say set visibility on our vert box, and where's our create new game vert box. So let's set this visibility to hidden, and then set visibility to visible. And while the new game box may already be hidden, it's not always going to be hidden. So we'll just go through and make sure we hide it. For instance, if we click create a new game, this will be visible, but if we hit load game after that without creating a save and everything, that would be visible. So we want to make sure we hide it. Let's go show new game menu. Let's open up that. And I mean, this is easy enough. We're just going to, again, take these, copy, and paste them over here. We'll switch order because we want to make sure we're hiding before showing. Not that it make a huge difference, but we'll hide this and make this visible. Okay, compile, save. Back in our designer, one other thing on our save game and create a new save button, we're going to make this for right now. We're going to disable it. Here it is. Is enabled, just uncheck it so you can't click it yet. Once you start typing in this box, we'll do making it visible. Yeah, so let's make some of this stuff happen. No, we don't need to get new game button. New game button. Yeah, okay. So unclicked on new game button. We're going to get game mode and cast to our startup game mode. And then create new game save. We're going to take our text box, get text, and send it into create new game. Now, this button's not going to be active right away because it's disabled. Let's duplicate our get game modes, and in our new game box, on text changed, validate our save name, and let's go back to this in our game mode. Let's create a return here, add return node, and we're going to be checking for two things. So our output's going to be a Boolean save name exists. So if our save name exists, that's not a good thing. We can't save it. And name length is within parameters. So is it long enough? Is it short, too long? It's got to be the right size as well, because we don't want to have extremely long names, and we don't want to have a name that's just one. So we want to make sure it meets certain sizes. So back in our main menu now, we have our save name exist. So as we're editing this, we're going to check if save name exists. That's a bad thing. So if that's true, that's bad. So we want to say not. So yeah, because we're going to do a branch here, and on text, if name length is within parameters, if this is true and this is not true, we're good to go. So here we're just going to say and Boolean, let's not flip-flop them, branch, and we'll take our button is get is enabled, all right. So again, if the save name does not exist and it is within parameters length, this is true, and our button is, we'll just, do we want to keep setting it every time? We'll just set it every time, who cares? Every time you type, we'll make sure it gets set again. So we'll just set is, we'll just set, we won't get into a check, we'll just set it every time. We'll set it to false whenever it's not true. So we'll always check, and we'll always set enabled or disabled whenever we're typing, and we'll just check. Compile, save, great. Let's go back into our startup now that we have all of our functionality here. That clicked, and our buttons themselves that we create. That should be everything for right now. In our event graph, event begin play, it's going to start some action here. So we're going to say does save game exist, and we're going to check if our file reference save exists or not. This slot name is just going to be save game save reference. Save game references. That'll be our slot name user index. Let's promote this to a variable. Save file reference slot name. And if I hit compile, yeah, save game references, it's in there. So does this exist? If not, we'll have to create it. If it does exist, we have to load it. So if it doesn't exist, we're going to create save game object, excuse me, save file references, promote to variable. This is going to be our save file We'll set it. If it does exist, we're going to load it. So load game from slot. We have to cast here to our save file references before we can set it. And once this is completed, we're going to go ahead, the first time we create this, we're going to go ahead and save it to the slot. So let's sequence. And once that's done, get save file, save game to slot, slot name will be here. Okay, so that's done. Create a save. Now, new game. We're going to get it, we're going to load it, we're going to save it again. We really only have to save it here. Let's create our first widget so it's on screen. Create widget, main menu, promote to variable, widget underscore main menu, and let's add to viewport. All right, so now our main menu's in the viewport. When the new game button's clicked, let's get our main menu, show new game menu. Show delete menu buttons. Here is load buttons true, and let's do the same exact thing here, but of course this is false. We can take our save file reference, get it, and get our save file data and plug it in here and here. Clean it up a bit and we're good. So that is our main menu buttons clicked. All right. So create new save. We have everything we need. We'll take our save file reference. Let's, since we're creating a new game, it's going to be level 1 pretty easy, but let's make a struct. Our struct is here. We'll do this. Let's get our save file data. Let's hit add. Our level will always be level 1 for this one. And we'll add it here. And before we do, we're going to run this one more time. Not Boolean. And it's within parameters. Just make sure everything's still good. Nothing crazy happened when they clicked the button. Something didn't work right somewhere else. If that's all good, we'll branch and save. We'll branch, add it, and then once it's added, we'll save the game to slot. And then we'll open level. And since it's the first one, it's always going to be the right place. We'll just put in level 1 here. We'll probably change how we open levels later on, but that works for now. All right, a little sloppy, I don't like it, but we'll keep going. All right, load save game, delete save game. All right. We could probably, since we're passing in the full thing into our buttons, pass it full thing back out, but not very important. What aren't we doing? After we save the game to slot, we need to get our game instance cast to our save system and set our name as well, so our level can pull in the right level data. Okay, cool. Let's type in our delete save game files. Delete save game files. All right. Since we're having a whole bunch of files created for one character, we need to delete multiple of them. Let's get our save format file name and do a for each loop for each on our enum. So we're going to take that name and we're going to say format delete saved game. What is that? Save. Does save, create save game, format save. Where's the delete? Delete game in slot, no save file. Slot name, user index will always be 0 for us. So for each, we're going to go through and delete slot in game. But before we do that, let's do does save game exist. And we'll branch. If it does exist, we'll delete it. If it doesn't, we obviously can't. Branch. And if it does exist, delete it. Okay, once that's completed, we're going to take our save, get save file reference, get our save file data. Each loop with break. We're going to go in, we're going to take our array element, and we're going to say, we're going to break it. We're going to check if save name equals, all right, it's getting ridiculous. Let's promote this to a local variable. Local save game ref. Save file reference get remove index. And so if it's true, branch, remove the index, and break. All right, that looks right. Compile, save. Okay. Back in our event graph, delete save is now completed as well. Load saved game. Let's slide save name. We can do it all out here. Open level 1. Ooh, one thing we haven't done, and we need to do it here. Let's function create new character save. We need to create our new character save as well before we go in and load it. We want to do this here. This will be our save name. Let's go to our save game format file name. We'll create a character save file format. We'll do a check, does save game exist, but it's going to be false. But always check. And then branch off of this. And if that doesn't exist, which it shouldn't, let's create save game object. This will be our character data save object. We created it. Nothing really is in it right now. We really don't need to set anything in it first, but let's save game to slot. Our slot name will be here. We'll just drag it. All right. And obviously we want this to be false. If true, let's just throw a print string of save character error. If it already exists, something definitely went wrong because we're creating a new game and it shouldn't be there. So there's an error somewhere and you can't continue. We won't create that. Let's add a return here, actually. And we can proceed only if we succeed. And if we fail, save character save created. Let's promote this to a local variable. Local succeed. We'll just say local succeeded. Return value, and when this creates, it should give us a return true, so we can set this here and output here. Come on. All right. So that'll tell us if we succeeded or not. Compile, save, event graph, create new character save. And branch. On true, we'll open the level. Just check. So we created a new character there, delete it, and then load. So when we load a game, let's just create a new function. Load game. We'll pass our string in here just so it's not messy out there. File ref name. Let's take our save file references, get it, do a for each. Now we have to get our save file data and do a for each loop with break. The more I do this, I'm like, I should have just passed in the array index for each two earlier, and instead of passing file names and then checking. Break save name equals string. Let's promote it to a local variable. Local save file ref. Okay, are they equal? Branch. If true, load level. Ooh, can't do it in here. Open level, not load level. Like what? All right. Open level. Take this to string. Can do to name. Enum to name. Yeah, should be good there. It's just that should work. We'll just go to string. Sometimes when you format name, string, text, it doesn't always work. I know string will work just fine. Name probably works too, but I don't feel like dealing with that. Okay. We'll load it. I'm not going to call open level right away though. Back in our event graph, remember we had to get our game instance and set this information. We'll just copy it, go back into load game, open level, and toss this information in here as well. So it's now in our game instance. That information's good, everything's good. We'll open level, and I guess we should probably, yeah, we'll just call open. I hate calling open level on a for loop with break, right? Let's promote this to a local, local file, local save. So if we do that here, take this, split it, and set that plug this up here to there. We'll break. And uncompleted. Yeah. Because I don't want to do it in the for each loop. Yeah, that'll be fine. I guess the only thing is you could technically not find it, and completed you'd load something without an actual level, but that should never happen. I say that, and first thing to happen will be that. So load game, file reference has to exist, so okay. Loading level 1. Back here we saved game to slot, we created it, saved the game. We said level 1, we saved it to the slot. That's good. All right, so that's our game mode startup. Let's look at our level blueprint, and let's finish up one more thing in the that'll be in our third person game mode. Yeah, let's go in our third person game mode. Take a look at this. Nothing's in here. Awesome. Let's create an event dispatcher, save game dispatcher. All right. Let's create a function in here called save. Let's call it save the custom event. Add custom event. Save the game. And we're going to make sure we call this dispatcher. So when we click save the game, we'll make sure we call this dispatcher out. Event begin play. So in the game mode, one thing we're going to have to do is load our character. Load file, load game from slot. But first, let's check, does game exist? If it doesn't, we're going to have to throw an error. Branch, false, print string, and we'll just say error. We're going to get our game instance and cast to our level, get our save name reference, and promote to variable save name ref. All right. So now that we have that, we can see if our character exists. So let's go to our save to format the file. We want to get our character, make that into a string. Does the game exist? If true, let's promote this variable, character save game slot. We'll load the game from the slot. Promote to variable, which we need to change this to our save game character data, change variable type, not a big deal. Let's cast to our save character data. And that'll be that. And then again, if it doesn't exist, error. All right. When we call save the game, we're going to take our save game char data, get it, let's hit save game to slot. And we'll save it, our character data, to the slot. So whatever data we have. Before that, let's create a function in here. We'll call this transfer character vars to save game file. And whatever that is, when we determine what we want to save, maybe we'll give the character some health or something, and we'll just push it in there. We really don't have anything getting saved on the character at this point. There's nothing in the save character file, so not a big deal. Save, and then yeah, that's it for the game mode. Let's just do, let's come back here, let's do a return, add return node, and we'll just use that for later. So let's grab this in here. We want to make sure we do this before we save the game. That's just for reference later. Great. All right. Our third person character, we really aren't going to do anything with right now. Let's go to our maps, we're at start level 1, and create, I mean, we really need to create some stuff in here before we start saying load and save and everything. Let's check out our level blueprint quick though. We created that event dispatcher. So event begin play. Let's create a function called, no, let's not do a function. We'll do an event. Our event graph, custom event, save level. Let's get game mode, cast to third person game mode, and bind event to save game dispatcher. So we created that save game dispatcher, and now we when we hit save game, we're also going to save the level. Create a function called save. We'll just call it save level data. Nothing to save yet, but after we bind that event, let's does save game exist? We need to get, you know what? We don't need to get our game instance. Third person, begin play. Let's get save name reference. And then it's our file save name. Promote variable level save file ref. We need to make sure we set this, compile. This is on level 1 right now. level 1. So when we create level 2, we have to make sure we set it to level 2. So if this is the first time playing, this is going to be false. And we're going to have to create save game object, level data, promote to variable, my level data. If it does exist, we need to load game from slot. Again, we need to make sure we keep using this name, so let's promote this to level save slot name. Gets to level data and set it, and then if it's the first time, we're going to save game to slot and save it to our level slot name. If it's the first time, we'll create it and save it out. Okay, compile, save. Back in our blueprints, let's go back. One thing we didn't do in our startup is something very simple. Create our main menu widget. We'll add it to the viewport. Let's get player controller, show mouse cursor. We're just going to set it so we can see it in the beginning. Okay, 1 third-person game mode. Save the game, begin play. So everything right now technically should work, although there's not a lot of stuff here. But let's go into our save system. Saved. Right here, we don't have any saved files yet, but we'll pull this back open in a second. Let's go to third-person maps and startup. If we hit play, things seem to be working. Let's create a new game. James. Oh, we didn't finish validating. See, not everything's working. Startup, validate. Save name. Let's get its length. Greater than or equal to, let's make it 5. Actually, let's say between, it's not between, in range, right? In range. Between 5 and let's do 25, somewhere between there. Yeah. Let's promote to a local variable, local in range, and then let's get let's look at my event graph really quick. Does save file? Yeah, so it's created, it's saved, everything's good. So back to validate. Save file references, get our save file data, and for each loop with breaks, fine. Let's split this. We're going to say, let's promote this to a local variable, local new save name. If it does equal it, we're going to say, let's just hit promote to local variable, local save name exists. On false, it doesn't matter. We'll go and make sure the next one, the next one, the next one. Yeah. So on completed, we'll do that. Let's move all this over some back here. So we'll see how long it is first. We can actually branch on this. If in range is true, we'll go here. If it's not, we don't even need to worry about it. In range true, if false, don't worry about it. And then we'll plug in range and save name exist. Compile, save, minimize, play, new game. Let's see if it's, there we go. Start. Now I'm here. Skate. We never saved the file, but if we go to our save games, yeah, so it did, because it was the first one, we saved it to the slot. So you can see we created our reference, our character, and our level. Let's hit play again. We can load our game. And then let's hit play again. Load game. Why didn't new game, delete game? Oh, I know what's happening there. Delete game's not working for some reason, but we can figure that out pretty quick on our event graph. Delete games. That's the delete game button, event graph. Our 3 buttons is load buttons. We'll check the main menu out there. And also, I didn't clear children in our main menu. Graph, show load delete buttons. Conditions always true, which is one of the problems. And then I need to clear children as well, first thing. When we click this button, let's get our load delete vert box, clear children. Load game. Delete. Oh, delete save. That's the, go to our designer. I typed in delete game, but this is delete save. Hey. Keeps going back to delete game. Delete save. What? Why does it keep going back? Don't ask me. All right, delete save. There it is. And then let's also fix that. So when we click delete save, we want to go back and call show delete buttons. So in our game mode startup, delete save game files, remove that index. Let's take our main menu, show load delete buttons, and that should fix those errors. So I deleted it, but it obviously didn't. Load game, delete save, load game, delete save, new game, load game. All right. Stop, play, load game. It's still there. Let's see. It didn't remove it from our save game reference. Remove index. Oh, we removed the index, but we didn't save the game to the slot. Which is why it was removed, but our save file references are local. All right. Stop, play, load game. It's still there. Let's see if I fixed it, but yeah, because that should not be there for sure. Oh, and that's another thing. Go figure. That's our save. No, that was our save rate name reference. Save name to slot is this one, not the local. All right, so everything should be deleted out. New game. Nothing's popping up there, so new game. James, save and load. Stop, play, load game, load. No issues, and play. Delete save, delete James. New game, load game. Stop, play, load game, delete. Yeah, there we go. Not there anymore. And we can see that James is there. So let's save and start new game. Stop, hit play, new game. You can see we can't create that game. Stop, play, load game. We got our two games, and there they are. All right, so let's actually get creating a game. Let's open up our level and get busy in here with creating some basic functionality. We'll go in and be able to open doors with key cards. Third person blueprints. Our blueprint function library, we're going to create a new function in here. This is going to be return color. Really simple. Let's create an enum. Enum key door colors. We'll create a few different key cards here. We'll have red, green, blue, and black, and black. All right. Blueprint function library system. It'll take in our enum. And we'll select. We're going to be selecting, so let's linear color. That's fine. I just need to plug something in here. There we go. Return return value is going to be here. Red will be red. Green will be green. Blue will be, of course, blue. And black's black. I'm going to be doing this in a couple different blueprints. Do it one place. Don't have to set it up again. There it is. All right, so that's done. Let's create a material. M_color. We'll have a vector parameter. This will be called color, and we'll plug it in for colors. Save it and close. Let's create another blueprint of an actor. This will be our blueprint underscore interactive actor. So this is going to have a couple things. We're going to give it an option. We'll just call it option pin. This is going to be used for like our doors. Is the door open? If it is, we'll set this to true, and when we load the level, we'll set that door value to true. It's also going to need a name. Say object name, and the name is going to determine when we save it. We're going to save a name, and we're going to save the option pin to it with that name, and then we'll go through, find the object with that name, and set its option pin and do anything like that. All right. What else does this need? Let's add a tag to it. Save item. So when we go to save out our items, we'll just say, hey, look for everything that has a tag of save item, and do it that way. And then in our event graph, let's create a custom event, or do we want a function? We'll make an event. Custom event, initialize actor. So we'll be able to override this later on for like our doors and stuff like that. Yeah, be easy. Just put it in there, and then we don't have to worry about casting. For instance, we won't call it on our key card. We'll just destroy that if it doesn't exist. But for our doors, when we find that name, we want to call initialize actor, so it needs that functionality in it. The key card won't use it, but we can override it. So let's create another blueprint. This is our BP interactive actor. This will be BP key card. Yeah, we'll do it this way. In our construction script, the first thing we need to do is create a dynamic material instance. We're going to be creating one of our color. Let's promote this to a variable. Material. We'll just call it exactly what it is. Color set vector parameter value of color. Let's go back to our return color. And since all of our interactive actors are going to be using color because we're only creating 2, we could put this on the actual interactive actor. Add variable, just call this color enum, and get rid of a tag here so we can actually edit this thing. Enum key door colors. make it visible, we need this visible. Option pin does not need to be visible. All right, in our keycard color, let's get color enum and plug that in here. Turn value here. Parameter name was color. Add a component. This is only going to have a cube. Our cube is going to be called our key card, and we'll get our key card, set material element 0, and we'll make it our color. Okay, let's check out our viewport and let's scale this thing, turn off some scale snapping. You can see it turned red, so we know that that's working. Event graph, no, more components. We need a sphere collision. And we need a text render. I say need, we don't technically need this. Info text, our collision sphere. Let's boost this up to 96. We need to get this off of our, so it scaled it every time. Let's lock and make it 1. Okay, unlock it. Make it 1. There we go. Event graph. Yeah. One other thing we didn't do yet. Let's create another blueprint interface. We'll call this BPI interactive object. Our interface for interactive objects, new function, we'll just say interact. Inputs, we're going to pass in our character to this. So third person character, we'll just say char, compile, save, back to our key card. Actually, interactive active class settings, let's add this here to our interactive objects, compile, save, and now we can use it on our key card. Interact. I wanted the event. Add event, interact. Excuse me. All right, so we have that, our sphere, add event, one component begin overlap, add event, one component end overlap. Our other actor is going to be our third person character. And it's time to open up our third person character. So our third person character is going to do a couple of things. Let's create some custom events. Add custom event, overlap with actor, custom event, and overlap with actor. On the first one, we're going to add input of BP interactive actor. So we'll promote this to a variable when we start. We'll call this overlapping actor, and we'll set it again when we end, but we're just going to set it out to null. Okay. Let's say when we press Q, we'll interact with the actor. So overlapping actor, get it? We'll check if this is valid. We do not want to be calling this if it's not valid, because nothing will happen. And then we'll just say interact. Um, let's try that again. Interact. I want to do it from our interface. Interface call. Interface message, I think. And we're going to pass in self. Our character needs a key card inventory. This is going to be our enum of colors. Easy enough, and of course it needs to be an array. Save. Function pickup key card. This will be our colors again. Key door colors. And we'll add that. Let's take out our save game for character data really quick. There's nothing in here. Let's add our character key card inventory. Our enum, key door colors, array, pile save. Awesome. So we can pick up a key card, add it to the inventory, interact. When we press interact, we'll call it. Perfect. Easy enough. B, key card. We can overlap, end overlap. Okay. Self, end overlap with actor, send in nothing. Save. Pick up key card, get color, enum, send it its color. We'll pick up the key card and then destroy this actor. Text info, press Q to pick up card, CAD card, center it. Let's look at our viewport really quick. Let's bring this up so we'll see it. Event graph. Say visible false. When we overlap this, set visibility to true, set visibility to false. One other thing we're going to do here is set rotation, no, world rotation. We'll take our other actor, get actor location, get look at rotation, find look at rotation, start, get actor location. So starting at our actor, we want to look at our other actor. Let's split this pin struct, and we're only going to rotate it. We're not going to turn it up and down. So we'll set it so it's looking right at them. We should be able to pick it up. Back in our third person character, let's create one more. Z, there it is. We're gonna call save game, get game mode, cast to third person game mode. Let's call transfer character vars. We'll add our other our inventory so we can pass that through here. We could take the whole character and just take what we need from it. Maybe we'll do it that way and then save the game. Compile, save. Let's open up our third person game mode. We're just going to pass in the whole character for now. So we have our character data, we'll get it. We'll get, let's just set our character keycard inventory and get keycard inventory. Let's look at our event graph. Character save game slot will save. That's one that we transferred. So just call transfer first. We're good there. Okay, compile, save. Let's look at transfer. I don't need a return node. Compile, save. Event graph. All right. So we're saving that to the slot. We'll save that to the slot. Yeah. So everything should be good so far. Let's open up our level blueprint. Save the level. Save level data. Get all actors with tag. Our tag is a save item, right? Let's double check that to our interactive actor tag save item. Save item, perfect. Okay, for each loop, let's create a struct here. Struct level save data. Again, all of our actors are going to have two things. They're going to have a name. So actor name, and it's going to have its option pin. All right. Cast interactive actor. Get object name. Get option pin. Make struct level save data. Have a local variable. Local save data. This will be our struct level save data, an array, get add. All right, So we're going to go through and save, add them all. Let's look at our save game for this. Level data, open full blueprint, create a variable. Our variable is going to be our struct level save data, level data, and it's going to be an array. Compile, save, level, my level data, get my level data, set our level data once it's completed to our local. Compile, save. Okay, let's create another function. It's called load level. Is that a bad name? Yes. Load level data. We'll take my level data. Probably could call it initialize level. Initialize level. Get our level data for each loop. Here we're going to have to do kind of the same thing. We're going to have to get all actors with tag. Our tag is going to be save item for each loop with break is what we want. So we're going to take a look at it. We can just do it for each loop with break again. So let's promote this to a local variable, local current save item check. So we're going to take our save item and we're going to say look through our level data. Split this. If true, it stays where we set it. If false, we delete it if it doesn't find it. So local item does not exist. Boolean here. All right, so we're going to take our loop body, we're going to take our name, we're going to take this here, get, we're going to get name, right? Object name, I think is what we called it. Oh, we didn't cast it. Still an actor. Cast to BPP interactive actor. BP interactive actor. Change variable type. Set it. Get object name. Does this equal we're going to go through all of these. This doesn't need to have a break. All right, so we're going to check them. Does the object name equal? Let's branch. If it does equal, remember on our interactive actor, we created this initialize actor. If true, we're going to call it initialize actor. And we need to pass in the bool on this. So back in our level blueprint, we're going to initialize the actor, and then we can break. We don't need to keep looking for this actor anymore. So we went through, we found it. We'll break to complete. And if item does not exist, so we need to set this here as well before we break. So we found the actor. Item exists is true. If we go all the way through this and complete and it's still false, we need to get rid of it. Branch. If true, we're going to set this to false. And if false, we're going to get this. Destroy actor. And then set it to false. So we can do, it's already false, we don't need to do that. Okay. Break, completed, true, go back, starts doing it again. Save. Okay. So in our event graph, save level data. It's good now. Call save level data. Everything else has happened just fine. Object, we've got our file, we saved our file, we loaded it, everything's there. Perfect. Let's sequence this then. Sequence. Initialize level. Okay. So we have our key card. We can put it out here. We can change its color. Let's create our door. One more thing to do before. Blueprint class, actor, not actor, interactive actor. New blueprint class of BP interactive actor. Select BP underscore door. Event interact, custom event, open door, get key card inventory. Yeah, we'll do the check here. Do it in a function. Check for key. Get color enum. Array for each loop with break. So we're going to take our keys from the player inventory, pass them in here. We're going to say, does this equal this branch? If true, local has key. If true, we'll set it to true. completed branch, not branch, we'll just return, add return mode, get local hash key, plug that in here on completed, get rid of the branch. If it finds it, we'll break. We don't need to keep looking once it finds it. I'll save. Up has a key, set it, find it, return it. All right. In our event graph, event interact, we will check for key and branch on this. If true, open door. Okay. Let's override our function of initialize actor. We'll take our option bool and we'll branch here. And if it's true, we'll open the door. Open door timeline is open door timeline. We'll open the door. Let's take a look at this. 0.5 for a float value. Add key, add key. First one's going to be 0 and 0. Second one's going to be 0.5 and 1. Compile, save. Let's make it a little nicer. All right. Let's add a variable of open angle float. Compile, save. Start at -120. Track. This is just going to be our alpha. I should rename that, but this times float. Let's start creating our door. Let's go to our viewport. Door, first thing we need is a scene component. This is going to be our hinge. Add component to that. We'll add a cube. Call this door. Put back on some snap stepping here. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's just take a look at this really quick. Way too small. Okay, file, save. What else do we need on this? Let's add it to our default scene root of a text render. We'll just put this at one location. We won't. Press key to open. That's good. Visibility hidden for now. Compile, save. Let's add another component of a sphere collision. Not a sphere collision, please. Like 6-ish, that's good. 28. All right. Compile, save. There's our door on its hinge. Text render, sphere, good. Let's add one more because we want to go to different levels once we walk through a door. So let's do another collision. We'll do a box collision to put it on back side of the door. That's good. I'll save. um, all right, back in our event graph. When we hit play, we want to take our hinge, set relative rotation, split the pin strut, change its yaw on update, finished, good. Sphere, yeah. So on our sphere overlap on component, let's go on component begin overlap, on component end overlap, yeah, cast to third person character, overlap with actor, self, overlap, end overlap with actor. All right, take our text render. We're not going to rotate this, so all we have to do is set visibility to true. Set to false when we're done. Instruction script, get color enum. Our blueprint function library of return color, we don't need to set them again because we did it there. Create dynamic material instance. This is going to be color, promote to variable m color, set vector parameter value, color, back in our viewport. Did it change colors? I don't think it did. Construction script, because we didn't set it. Door, set material to our color. There we go. So we're starting, we're ending overlaps, we're opening the door. Oh, open door. Set option pin. So if the door is open, we want to make sure we set that to true. Now, when we call initialize actor, we called open door, and open door will set that option pin to true again. If you didn't do that, say you did like you set the option pin, and when you initialize the actor, you just set the value separately instead of calling open door again. You'd also have to set that option pin down here again. But since it gets set up here, we don't need to do that. It'll say it and work just fine. So let's check out our door. Let's make it green. And pick up a green key card, pick this up. We can see that this is the opposite way of what we want it to be facing. Let's move this. Let's go through the door up here. On only thing we have now is we need to go to other levels. So let's go back to our door one more time. Add a variable, next level. This is going to use our enum that we created earlier, our save file references. Obviously, you can't go to character, but you can go to level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So making it visible, we can set it out in the world. Next level box, add event component, again, overlap, cast to third person character, other actor, if it's us, as third person character. If this succeeds, we're going to do a few things. We want to save the level, right? So if we go into our, yeah, see now I don't like how I did that all of a sudden. Let's look at third person game mode really quick. Let's get this. Get player character, cast to third person character, let's go back to our, that'll work. If we go into our character, instead of this calling this here, we'll just call save the game, and then we'll pull it that way. So level 1 blueprint, initialize level, good, door. Let's get game mode, cast to third person game mode, save game, and then open level. We'll take our next level to string name level, compile, save, minimize. All right. Let's go to a third person blueprints, maps, duplicate. Level 2 sounds great to me. Save selected. And let's change some stuff here so we know we're in a different level. A couple things we're going to have to do. This is going to be key card 1, and we'll set the color to red. We need an object name on this. Next level will be back to level 1 for now. Object name door 1, and we'll make this red as well. Save all, save selected. Open angles -20. We're going to go back to level 1. Door 1, it's red. Everything looks good. All right. And our level blueprint, one thing we have to change here was the level here. We want to make sure it loads the level 2 save data. Okay, so level 2 is done. Let's go back to level 1, and that opened quick. Level 2, yeah, level 1. So we got a green key card object name key card 1, and since they're on different levels, it doesn't matter if the names are the same. Door 1, and it's green. Save. Let's, you know what? Let's duplicate this. Make sure you change this key card, and then let's make it blue. Stop. startup, play, let's load game, James. Nothing existed, so everything was removed. Makes sense to me. Play, delete games. So everything seems to be working. James, save and start game, level 1. Oh, it's the first time the level's been built. Since it's the first time, nothing's going to be saved in the level. So blueprints, open level blueprint. We're calling an initialize level here, but we're only going to call initialize level if it's never been played before, or if it has been played before. So we'll get my level data and then call initialize level. We don't need to do that down there, so let's go to level 2 as well. Save it, blueprints, open level blueprint, and same thing here. If we actually load data in, we'll do it that way. So back to startup, play, delete those saves, new game. All right, so if we go over, we can pick this up, that's working. Let's go up and try to open the door. It won't open. Door opened right into me, need to change it. Level 2. Pick up the red key card, open the door right into me, and back to level 1. It's not saving, did it not save the level properly? Let's see what happened here. Level 1, blueprints, open level blueprint, save level data. Ah, of course. Save game to slot. Just never saved it again. And save level data. All right, so back to startup, play, delete, new game, James, start game, pick it up, open it. I need to change that angle to 120. Q. Door opens, key card's gone. Pick up the blue one now. And oh, I didn't change it in level 2 though, right? So level 2, blueprints, open level blueprint. Save level data. Save game to slot. My level, slot name, and we're good. So everything should be working. Let's create a few more levels. Let's duplicate this, level 3. Let's go to it. Let's make this level 3. Oh, we won't have any key card. And on the door, we'll go to level 3. We'll go to level 4. We'll make this blue because I can already pick up a blue key card. We'll go to level 4. Save. Level 2. We need to make this to level 3. Save all. And then let's duplicate level 3. And we'll make this level 4. level 4 we'll have back to level 1, black, and we need a key card, blueprints, key card, black, object name, key card 1, save, and maps, level 3, blueprints, level blueprint, level save data is level 3, and level 4 we need to make sure that our blueprint class, open level blueprint, and this is level 4. Okay, so back to startup. Let's hit play. Let's delete what we currently have. New game. James, start the game. And if I don't pick the blue one up and proceed, I will get stuck. Oh, I got to change that to 120. Here we are. Pick that up. Already have the blue key card. Ooh. But it's not working. So our save, cheated. Pick it up. Our character save isn't going through. So let's see what's happening there. Game mode, not startup. Third person character. Here we call save the game. But when we walk through the door, we're calling save the game. Let's look at our third person game mode. We get our keycard inventory, event graph. So I see kind of what's happening here. This is almost an infinite loop actually that we got going on. Call save the game. That saves the level. Third person transfer vars. We get our third person player character. We go in. Character save game slot. Let's open up our level blueprint quick. Maps, level 1, save selected. Blueprints, open level blueprint. Event graph, save level data. Okay, so that's definitely getting called and saved. Save level data. When I go through the door, I get our game mode and say save the game, and then open level. So why don't we do this? Input. Care data. Getting our inventory and setting it. So on our third person character, to just troubleshoot this, let's hit P. It's always hard. Num1. For each loop, print string to string to string. Okay. Third person blueprints, third person game mode, cast a GI system, save name reference file, format save file name character, character save game slot name. Does it exist? If true, we load the game from the slot and we set our character data. I'm not getting errors. Our startup, load game, save name reference in our game instance. That's getting there in our load game. So let's just hit play again. New game. Steven. Green. Blue and green. Walk through. I press 1 and nothing's there. Huh. Oh God. I know why. Because I'm not setting it on my character, third person character. I'm a fool. Alright, third person game mode, event begin play. We get our save character data, which is great, but on event begin play here, our game mode should already exist. I'd hate to call it on begin play. I probably should do like a yeah, we'll do it up here. Get player character, cast to third person character, set inventory. Okay, that should handle that. Silly. Play, load game. It shouldn't matter now because it should be setting it. We have the black one, but yep. Play, new game. Thomas. And it didn't do it. key card inventory. All right. Inventory set. So it tried to get the inventory. Of course, there was none. I hit save. Let's see if inventory set, but I press 1 and my inventory is saying it's empty. Keycard inventory. I mean, it's saying it's doing everything, but then it's not pulling it out. Let's look at our save file references. We have our James character, so it's there. Let's our character data, keycard inventory. I mean, everything seems like it should be working. It must be missing something silly. Z, I hit save the game. Oh. That's silly. Third person game mode. Save the game. I add character to self. Now when it calls from the level blueprint, let's look at this one more time. Blueprints, no, not blueprints. Maps, level 1, save selected. Blueprints, open level blueprint, save level data. All right, and then that's saving just fine. And let's look at the door one more time. Content. Ah, that's why. Because of my door. Compile, save. All right. So I wasn't passing the character in anywhere. Not blueprints, maps, startup, save selected, play, delete, and new game. All right, everything was done right, just incorrectly. Got it. There we go. It was all there. I just didn't plug in the pins I needed. And now doors are open on all levels. And it remembers I picked everything up. And level 3 still says, or level 4 still says level 3. But there it is, the perfect game. All right, well, that's it. That was a long stream. Hope you all enjoyed it. Yep, have fun. That's it. Bye.